Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm your other host, Chanel, and I'm ready. I
Chanel is
was
ready
ready.
like who said that? Who said I'm
SpongeBob,
ready? SpongeBob. Yes, SpongeBob said I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
And we are back to talk about Peacemaker, season 2, episode 4. But before we get into Peacemaker, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/ at We Was Watching, or just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you can hear us go live. Watch us go live. I'm sorry, which we are live right now on YouTube. You can also email the show at We Was Watching podcast at gmail.com, and you can follow us anywhere on all the socials at We Was Watching. I am interested to hear what Chanel's been watching because I know one thing that she watched, and then another thing I don't know what she watched. So I want to know what she's been watching. So let's just jump right into what we've been on.
Don't watch me, don't watch TV.
Janelle, how was the Emmys?
The Emmys was good. I didn't hear the sound. Did you hear the sound?
Yeah. I don't think. Oh, I
Okay.
didn't switch it back to you. That's on me. You're good though. Keep
No, it's
going.
okay. The Emmys. Well, I saw the second half because my mom was watching something else that was. Oh, my mom watches Big Brother. She's like so addicted to it. So she was watching Big Brother before this went on. But when it went off, the Emmys was on. I enjoyed the parts that I saw. I got the gist of the donations clock timer thing. I got to see Nate Bargatze in his Canadian tuxedo, and I think I got there for some of the good parts. I didn't see Tremel Tillman like live when it happened, but I did see. Actually, I started to see the Adolescence avalanche. That's when I came in, when like Adolescence took almost all the damn things at the end. Um, and I did see the tribute, the in memoriam, although they left out a couple people. And I saw the Colbert Show moment, which was great.
Did you see Kristen Milotti?
Who's up?
Sophia Falcone.
Oh yeah. I saw her cry. She was so cute. I was like, you know what? We have great taste. Now we can update and say, hey guys, we was watching podcasts is for blurs and aspiring baddies who love Emmy nominated and Emmy award winning shows that are sci-fi, fantasy, and politics and everything in between. That's not exactly the tag, but we can add Emmy award winning shows in there now.
So just to quickly go over, since we are a TV show podcast, I think it's apropos. Over some of the winners, outstanding drama, The Pit from HBO won that.
And we've been asked to watch that. I think it was Human Help in the chat. Other people have told us to watch it. I started it and I don't know what's up with me. I just couldn't get through like hour one.
We watched most of the other stuff on the nominee list: White Lotus,
We did.
Severance, Paradise, Andor. We didn't. Well, Chanel didn't watch The Last of Us. I watched The Last of Us. The Diplomat and Chanel watches Slow Horses. I haven't watched Slow Horses yet. Which is, I think Slow Horses is about to come back.
Source is so good. Also, I've audiobook the books ahead of time, but I will say like the Slow Horses books are so dense and so much happens that by the time I watch the season, I'm like happily surprised. Like if there's a death that I saw before I read it, so that was fine. And if you ask me right now, it would take me a minute to even remember the next book. So I'm excited.
Britt Lauer won Best Lead Actress from Severance. Kelly. Noah Wiley won Best Lead Actor from The Pit. Again, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. Best Supporting Actress.
Apparently he was on ER. He was on ER, so this is like a full circle moment for him. I did not know that.
Best Supporting Actress was Catherine Lanessa from The Pit. But you know what's funny? Parker Posey, Natasha Rothwell, Amy Lou Wood, and Carrie Coon were all nominated from White Lotus for Best Supporting Actress.
Mm-hmm.
They got
right. So it's like to be fair, so that they all stay friends, right? let's just do it from the other show instead of telling one of them they outshined each other. But yeah, like they did a great job. It showed. I don't know. For one thing, it's like yeah, we're watching great TV, but for another thing, it's like, are we all just confirming each other's bias that these shows are good at the same time? I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying, is it possible that there's not better shows than these? Like, and I don't know. So I guess I'd be curious if like, I also think it's so not real. It's so arbitrary to compare performances in this way because there's just like everybody's doing their fucking best. And at the end of the day, you know, Leonardo got one damn Academy Award. So it's like, what do the awards really? What do they really mean? I know they mean something, but I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical. But we did have our first year where people didn't even bother talking about how white the Emmys was. So that was good.
Best Supporting Actor in a Drama was Tremel Tillman from Severance.
He had his moment. He had his Black Mama moment. Love that for him. Well, I'm really proud. Whenever people were posting the speech, I was telling people, here's our Tremel Tillman appreciation playlist. And it was just our Severance season 2 playlist from YouTube.
Outstanding writing in the drama, Dan Gilroy, Welcome to the Rebellion, Andor. That episode was insane. That absolutely
The
should have
one where
won.
they ran. This is the one where they ran from when the senator finally gave her speech and they ran. Yep.
Yeah, that one, great episode. Outstanding comedy, The Studio from Apple TV. I haven't watched that, and I love Apple TV
I
shows.
haven't either. We probably missed the ball on that one.
Lead actress in the comedy, Jean Smart from Hacks. Lead
Hacks is
actor,
good. I'm not caught up, but Hacks is definitely funny. Hacks has its really good moments.
lead actor is Seth Rogen in The Studio.
Which I need to watch that to double check. Like, who do he win against? Lead actor
Lead
in a
actor
comedy
in a
series
comedy.
versus who?
Jason Segel from Shrinking. Martin Short from Only Murders in the Building. Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. And Adam
Really?
Brody from Nobody Wants This.
Really? Okay, that's okay. Hold on. Emmys is so white.
Why?
You telling me out of that those are the 5 best performances on TV this year, and 3 of them are on streaming?
On actors in a comedy.
You're telling me those are the 5 best performances in this year, and 3 of them are on streaming. Is that what you're telling me about
all
comedy
the best shows are on
year?
streaming?
I mean, I not even streaming, like all of them are on Apple, and we all joke about how nobody even watches Apple. Secondly, it's all like to be. I think that's kind of fucked up. Like Jimmy O could have won for Interior Chinatown. He's like, that's a very funny show where he's doing good acting. Like, I just think there's no way that you didn't. I just don't think they're scouring the internet and finding all the best comedy shows. I know there's like a consideration thing. Don't take me too literally.
I know what
I'm
you
saying
mean.
this just
You're
to
fine.
say like, well, not just for you, for like for a random listener. I'm saying this just to say like, I'm a little bit skeptic that that's all there is, and I'd be curious if there is like a system for wild cards.
I have to watch this show, The Studio. This cast is insane. Seth Rogen is in it, right? For supporting actress, they didn't win, but Catherine Hahn is in it, who I fucking love. Catherine Hahn.
Wait, who is a supporting actress nominee?
Who won it?
Who was a nominee for The Studio? It's
Catherine
not Catherine
Hahn.
Hahn or somebody else?
No, it was Catherine Hahn.
There's
and Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara from Home Alone.
Who is there's a co-creator on the Studio I want to shout out, and I don't even know her name, but she's an Afro-Latina woman and she helped co-create, so she was the first in that category as well, and I don't think people really highlighted it because they gave Seth Rogen all of that, but anything that the Studio won from like a show perspective, I think she won as well.
Guest actress Zoe Kravitz is in The Studio. Brian Cranston, Dave Franco, Ron Howard, Anthony Mackie.
You're overthinking it.
Martin Scorsese.
This is a Curb thing. Curb would have the same level of, and it'd be like guest actress, and it's just a person walking in saying something funny. Yeah, but these are all people
nominated for their performance as a guest actor in The Studio.
Oh, really? For what they did on this actual show?
Yes. And the guest actor in the comedy series, it's 6 people from The Studio. All in that category.
Okay, and this is what I'm saying. Are we winking at ourselves here?
I don't think you can make that comment given that neither of us has watched it.
I'm talking about the Academy.
If it's great, it's great.
There's no way you're telling me that Frida Perez is her name. There's no way you're telling me that of all the things that came out this year, the only best guest appearances were the ones in this series. That's what I just don't.
I watched last year a lot of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing that I watched was better than Shogun. And Shogun won like 1 million awards last year. And I couldn't disagree with none of them. They won 1 million awards. 1 million. All the actors, actresses, all of that. Because it was that good. So I'm saying if The Studio is that good, then it's that good. but we don't know.
I hear you, but I think it's weird for you to say that as if we haven't had the last 5 years have been a conversation about the lack of diversity in the nominations. And like the Tremel Tillman is the first Black man, potential, I think, I'm sure, Black person to win the supporting actor award. That is insane. Black people have been supporting shows all of their lives. Like there's we since TV was coming on, they've had Black people as a supporting lead, as supporting the lead. And you're telling me it's the first one. Like I think it's just, I'm just saying like something is not, it's like something about the award setup is weird and like it feels incestuous. Although I'm sure it's like people are deserved, and I'm sure I'm going to watch the studio. I'm going to laugh my ass off, and it's going to be so funny and so great and so on the nose and so like, you know, meta. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I'm struggling. Also, I know it's won a lot of awards, but they played like Severance. They snuffed Severance. They kind of snuffed The Penguin. Like, damn. I'm telling you, this must be really. I must have missed a lot of really good stuff. That's all I'm trying to say.
Giancarlo Esposito was nominated for Best Guest Actor in a Drama for The Boys.
In Poker Face?
No, for The
Oh,
Boys.
in The Boys.
But I don't even know if he's considered a guest actor in The Boys. I feel like he's part of the cast.
No, he came in at the end like 2 or 3 times. I don't know how many times Warren's guest.
All right, let's finish these. Best reality competition show is The Traitors. It won over RuPaul's Drag Race, The Amazing Race, Top Chef, and Survivor.
I mean, The Traitors, I've told you about Traitors. Traitors is a great show.
Best outstanding unstructured reality program, Love on the Spectrum on Netflix.
That's a good show. You need to watch that.
Outstanding structured reality program, Queer Eye on Netflix. Outstanding hosts for reality competition, Alan Cummings, The Traitors. Outstanding game show, Jeopardy. I mean, you can just give it to that every year. Limited series. Best outstanding limited or anthology series, Adolescent on Netflix. Won over Black Mirror, The Penguin. Oh, I'm surprised I guess that is a limited series because they haven't confirmed they're doing a season 2. So,
but you know what? We did. The nominations were great because remember, homegirl Frances, who plays the mother, she got her nom, and I was like, okay. So I'm seeing the noms, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm just like, are we the bootlickers because we're only watching the shows that everyone else says are the best shows? That's what's making me worried.
You're doing one of those like things, and I get where you're coming from because there are some things that are overlooked. But usually, if something is like universally thought as good, it's generally good. But I do agree with you, some things are overlooked. Rebel Ridge, outstanding television movie. Christina Milioti won good. Lead actress in a limited series for The Penguin. Stephen Graham won lead actor for Adolescence, which I have not seen. Brian Tyree Henry got nominated for Dope Thief. I think you watched that, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you watched it. You watched it.
Jake Gyllenhaal got nominated for.
Why did you say I watched it and you watched it?
I didn't watch Dope Thief.
Yes,
it's on my list.
Tell me I gotta watch Dope Thief.
I watched that first episode. I didn't finish it.
Oh, I thought you kept going. Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal was nominated for Presumed Innocence.
Presumed Innocence. That's what I'm saying. Think about how long ago Presumed Innocence feels. Like there's so many shows in between now and then. There has to be, but okay.
Peter Skarsgård, he should have won. He was fucking great on that show.
In what show?
On Presumed Innocence.
Oh yeah. He had you sick.
He was good on that show. And then just some other things. Outstanding scripted variety series, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Outstanding animated program, Arcane on Netflix. Won over Bob's Burgers, Common Side Effects, Love, Death, and Robots, and The Simpsons. So yeah, I mean, Emmys.
There was another show that kept getting noms that I had literally never heard of before. It was Dying for Sex. So
I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, it got a bunch of nominations. So I would say the thing I am definitely going to go back and watch is going to be Adolescence. That was my takeaway. It was like, okay, clearly Adolescence. Oh, because you know what? Because the guy who, you said, you just said his name. What's the guy's name who won for Adolescence? The lead actor?
Uh,
Like
Adolescent.
lead actor drama series. Steven something?
Stephen Graham.
Albert Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham got up there and said, "Hey, by the way, don't you ever fucking forget it. I'm half black." And everybody ran to Google and confirmed he is in fact part Jamaican. And so I put that to say we had another first last night. And shout out to Stephen. I'm recording. Shout out to Stephen Graham for being the man.
The last thing I'll say about the Emmys before we get into Peacemaker is I personally, Chanel, was surprised that The Paradise got nominated for so much stuff because I thought only black people watched Paradise. Because I don't know any white people that watched it.
Nobody's seen it. I feel like I saw it by accident and I started watching it. Because honestly, we started watching it because I watched it and I told you, hey, get to the end of the episode and tell me, because I didn't even know if you like it. I didn't know if it would be big. And I was like, tell me if you understand why I told you to watch it. And it's because it tied in with Silo, which we were reviewing at the time. By the way, Silo didn't get not one thing. Like a lot of shows just didn't get, Idris didn't get anything from Hijack. You're telling me that's not a limited series?
No. That show was fun to record, but that was not award quality
I'm just
television.
Saying there's more show. So all I'm saying is I wonder if there's anybody, I know they're like a nonprofit, whatever. I wonder if there's anybody working there who goes, okay, I'm going to make sure to go like watch every single thing and make sure we don't leave anything out. That's all. I just always curious if there's any way. I mean, it's just not possible that they're looking at all the performances. I mean, and I know people have to submit for consideration, whatever. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe everybody submitted for consideration.
So when I was a critic,
maybe it really just wasn't that good.
Movie critic, not TV. But when award season would come around, they would send us these packages, and they'd have like, and they come with the DVD so you can rewatch the movie, and then they'd have these things to look for. Pay attention to this person. You know, this we're thinking that we were going to submit this person, and they want you to watch it. And so we would get all those things in the mail and get to look at them, and then decide how we're going to vote. And I didn't vote for the Oscars or anything, but just like in your own Film Critics Association. So you get them on, they send them all to you and things like that. So I say that to say I didn't get you in movies is a little bit different because you would get random fucking movies, right? You'd get like these independent films that just did not come out in the theater or that you didn't even think about, and they were like, hey, check this out. And that's why you always see like these. That's why the Oscars is like the opposite, right? Of this. Because how many normal people watch the Oscars and then they look at Best Picture and they're like, I didn't see any of these movies. Like I hear people say that every year. I didn't see any of these movies. How are these the best movies? No one saw them. And I'm like, because they don't. I mean, it's a little bit different with the movies. They want you to see those little things that no one watched.
Well, just to be clear, I understand that like there is a consideration process. You have to apply to even be looked at for Emmys and Oscars. I get that.
No, you're right. I agree with you.
No, so I'm just saying like even within the actual real bounds of the contest, I'm just skeptical because it's like, damn, is it really possible to just be a landslide like that? And I guess because I think about how often an academy can overlook things, i.e., like, you know, I'm not trying to argue about it. I'm just saying like, and I'm switching academies here, but like giving Cowboy Carter album of the year when Renaissance really was the one to do it, or like Jay-Z never getting a nom, or like or Jay-Z never winning, or Will Smith winning first. It's like, it's so interesting how there can be all these things at play, and I still feel like there's a bit of a landslide feeling happening because like The Boys was really good. Freaking Andor good. Like all these The Penguin was good as fuck. And I know people were saying like, you know, Penguin got its due. Like there's all kind of other awards, so I'm not trying to like cry for Colin Farrell, but I was just like, damn, you're telling me Colin Farrell put all that makeup on every day and put that accent on and shot his own daddy in the head or whatever he did. I don't remember how Penguin's dad died. I'm pretty sure it was him shooting him. He did all that for a homeboy to come in and some Jamaican kid to come in and win it. It's just kind of funny.
He didn't even get
But
nominated for best lead actor.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm just like,
Colin
what do
Farrell
you
did.
mean? Like, that's a whole transformation. It's again, it's like giving Leo the Oscar for The Revenant, and it's like he should have won it for damn
Oh,
Django.
never mind. He did. They didn't consider The Penguin a drama. They considered it an anthology series. He got nominated for that.
Yeah, it's weird. That's weird. That's
but
all I'm
Stephen
saying.
Graham
That kind of
won.
stuff, or like when they make Get Out a comedy, like it's just stuff like that where I still don't really love how they're categorizing stuff. But yeah, I definitely think that that we're onto something in terms of quality of shows that we're recapping, but I feel like there's so many shows being made. Like, what about Tubi? We need Tubi awards. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a set of Tubi awards. I'm looking for a set of reviewing independent stuff, because there's good stuff being made independent and it just doesn't have that touch of a studio, and it deserves recognition. You are thinking about the worst of Tubi. I'm thinking about the best of Tubi right now. Tubi is just an independent
be a dedicated
platform.
person to try to find the good on Tubi.
Well, I don't even mean the good. I mean, like, we could do the same thing. You submit, and people like me and you make the decisions about who's actually good, and you can bring awareness to some up and coming people. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Lastly,
before, is this for the Emmys or something else?
No, something else. Two things from you. One, what movie did you go see?
What's the second thing?
Are you gonna go see him?
Duh.
Actually,
duh. Before what do you mean? What am I gonna be like? I don't know. I'm on the fence about one of the biggest premieres they're making. Like, are you joking? Marlon Wayans and Cardi B are the hardest working advertisers right now. Him and Tyreek Withers have been. Do you know they did a reel where they remade a scene from Step Brothers? You think I'm gonna miss the movie that did that for its marketing?
Okay, so you're gonna go see him. All right.
And then, and I know it's going to be way weirder than people think it's going to be. I'm going to tell you what I watched, but I wanted to say this before we got into what we've been on. We got an email recently letting us know what our month was like on Spotify, and from time to time we pump up YouTube, because as of right now we're a little bit more than 150 away from monetization. So thank you guys again. Keep sharing it. That goal just feels a little bit more real, because what happened with Spotify is they moved the goalposts, and so at one point we were able to do ads, and then because people don't consume enough hours or something, like, even though we appreciate you guys listening and we put out enough stuff, there's like not a volume enough on Spotify for us to get paid from Spotify, which is like totally okay. But anyway, that's why if you listen podcast only and you've never done YouTube, that's why we sometimes I have a bias towards YouTube, because that's a attainable goal. But anyway, we got our stats, and I just want to make sure to shout out to Spotify people. We got like over 400 plays last month on Spotify, and that translates to almost 180 Spotify consumption hours, meaning like people sat with our stuff for a minute, and more than 2,200 streams and downloads, which is actually super dope in 1 month. So thank you guys for that. And we made like nearly I'm rounding up a lot here. We made like nearly 7,000 impressions on Spotify, and we gained 6 followers. So shout out to you if you're a new Spotify follower, and shout out to you if you're a new subscriber, and wherever you're listening to us, thank you. The podcast does matter. We started as a podcast. Only like audio only, and so we don't want you to feel neglected over there. So thank you guys for listening. Want to make sure to say that. For what I've been on since we podcasted this weekend, I went to go see The Long Walk just now. I'm just coming back from that viewing, and I did enjoy that movie. It is I need to stop saying, I keep like accusing Stephen King because of that. Do you know the tweet that Stephen King put out? I think we talked about this on this podcast, actually, allegedly, that he's involved in, you know what? And then I started looking more into it, and it's like actually just conspiracy theory, because he put out a dumbass tweet. So I'm gonna stop slandering Stephen King's name. I don't know if he was on that island, but I do know that this movie's sick and twisted, and it feels way, way, way too, like, when you go to the movies and you're like, wow, where did this come from? This is so imaginative. And then when you go to movies, you're like, yeah, this is like pretty close to where we are today. And it should be the first one, but it is in fact the second one.
Yes.
You're not listening.
I am listening.
So this movie was like very much felt like 30 years from now. Have you ever read it? Do you know what the movie's about?
No.
We don't have a spoiler alert button, right? Do we? Not yet.
Not yet. Next week. Don't spoil the movie that just came out this week. Okay, we gotta have a little bit more than that, unless we're gonna call it a spoiled movie review.
Okay. I will say this. Didn't read the books. You are gonna have a worthwhile experience if you read the books. So you're going to see a great adaptation, and you're going to see some updates, which is great, always good, not bad, unless you think the book is like the letter of the law and you're going to be mad when you see something different than it. But like there's definitely some interpretation from the book from what I've seen. What's his name? Mark Hamill was a good villain because I hated his ass. I can tell you this is spoiler free. Hot, super bleak, and I loved it. Hey, Kayla McCoy, welcome back to the chat. Yeah, bleak is the best way to describe it. So, and then also, guess who's in it? Well, I think you know who's in it.
I don't know who's in it. I don't know anything about this movie.
You haven't seen any promo for The Long Walk? No. You don't know that David Johnson's in it? Gus from Industry?
I didn't even know this existed.
Gus from Industry is a co-star in the movie. He's great. He has a Southern accent the whole time. And the whole time I just wanted to be like, just be British, bro. I know it doesn't make sense, but like, just talk how you talk. I can't do this with you. Okay, so basically the premise is that there was a civil war. There was another war in our time, and post the war, the country has not been able to recuperate financially, which realistic, right? Both of those are more realistic than ever as of today. Am I wrong?
It's not supposed to be that way. Usually wars make you money. Like almost every war we've ever had has made us money until recently.
No, that's a crazy thing to say. The Civil War ruined the economy.
No, it didn't.
The Civil War, what was Reconstruction?
That was mostly supposed to be for us.
What I'm saying is that when you fight a war in your own territory, like I guess another way to say it, how's the economy in Gaza?
Well, yeah, but that's
because that's where the bombs are dropping, right? How's the economy in Ukraine? It's like it's where the devastation is happening. People, go, oh, high five, we won. But like you have to rebuild. Every country that has experienced warfare has to rebuild. So the Civil War, the South was decimated, or like all the places where they had battles were decimated, like for the most part. Obviously there's going to be like in the, whatever I paid attention to social studies, so like in the city centers, like where people were going to the factories to produce ammunitions, or where they could turn around. Same thing where like, yeah, you technically during the pandemic weren't laid off if you worked at a distillery because you can make hand sanitizer, right? Like you can do that, but at the same time, a lot of like non-essential stuff was shut down, or people like were out of work, whatever. And so what I'm trying to say is because we don't only have the Eastern Seaboard and 13 colonies right now, if there was actually civil war, there would in large part be war in almost every state, I imagine. And it would take a lot to rebuild. And I don't know, what are we going to rebuild with? We're already 13 trillion billion imaginary dollars in debt, right? So like there's not what I guess I'm trying to say is a civil war in this day and age would decimate the economy for working class people. Why? Because there's already not really a working class anymore, right? Like there's no more middle class. Like it's been seeped out, and there's more of a wage gap than ever. Do you agree with all of that?
Yes.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So why you act like the Civil War is going to happen and we're all going to be like, okay, guys, so glad we figured that one out. So like, there's going to be like some people. Well, did you see Civil War from the A24 one?
Of course not. No.
What do you mean, of course not?
I did not watch that. No. I know exactly what you're talking about. Why would I watch that?
Because you think it's too realistic? What's your issue?
I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was going to be ridiculous.
You're talking about the one with Kirsten Dunst and Nick Offerman?
No. I thought you were talking about something else. Okay, never mind.
What do you think about?
I thought you were talking about that HBO show.
No, there's a movie about Civil War, and in that movie, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, in that movie, it came out in 2024. It was by Alex Garland. It's about the now I'm crossing streams, but the movie Civil War is about a president who takes a third term, and people say fuck that, and so it becomes civil war because some people want to give the president his term, some people don't. And then as these journalists are going through the country trying to get photos of stuff as it's happening, which is I'm not getting spoiler territory, like it's realistic in the sense that you go through some towns and people are doing like in Walking Dead, where like sociopaths are taking advantage of the fact that they can kill people without being caught, and some people are helping people, and some people are freaking hanging people, and some which there by the way there were 2 lynchings this week. So we already know like that's already happening again. But like there was that, and then there was also the there was a situation where there was a town they rode through that seemed like there was no war happening. But when you looked, you realize that it was like an all white affluent town that just decided to stay out of it, right? So like there's all these very, very interesting dynamics of how the US would deal with the Civil War in this day and age, right? So that's Civil War, Alex Garland, A24, came out in 2024. And this one, it's referencing a war, and it's post-war, and the economy has been decimated because in that situation, the billionaires will still be billionaires, right? Like the people who knew the war was coming and could invest in ammunitions, what have you, have made their money. And working class people have been out of work or had to go enlist, or people died, right? And so the economy's cratered. So what happened is like, I guess at one point, I don't know when it first started, but like these guys, they started doing like, it's like Hunger Games. So uh, each state guys submit their names, a lottery happens, those men get to walk, and basically whoever walks the longest or survives a walk wins this like huge sum of money, like basically becomes an instant millionaire, and also gets one wish. And like, if I had one wish, but it's like actually way more bleak than that. And so you ask yourself like, why would they do it, right? But it's because it's one of the only ways to like, it's one of the only ways to wealth in this at this point in time, because like the country is decimated. So and then I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't think it is, because I think it's inherent if you look at any of the comments. But like, what do you think I mean when I say whoever makes it whoever makes it last?
Whoever's left standing.
Right. And so you're thinking I mean like whoever, just like if people pass out, oh well, like they lose, right?
Yes.
No, nigga. If they go below 3 miles per hour pace, they get shot.
That's funny.
It's not, because the first time you see them shoot a 17-year-old in the head, it's very like the theater's quiet. Like it sounds whoo, but like in reality, you're like, because what happens is each time they're all excited because like I'm gonna win, and then it gets real for them, and it's giving it's very Squid Games, and like you get
That's what I was
into
gonna
it,
say.
and
It
then there's
sounded like Squid Games. I was really
yeah,
about to
but
say that.
Squid Games is crazier because Squid Games is like actually way more crazy, but in terms of like how quickly people turn on each other. But in this one, it's like when it gets real, all these kids actually start to realize how sick this is, because then you start, okay, this is, if I've talked about it too much, I really do think like, spoiler, if you like skip ahead a whole minute if you need to. But all I was trying to say is that, spoiler. Okay. I'm not going to spoil a lot, but I am going to say this. Partway through, they talk about it, and they recognize that most boys, because it's men only, most boys submit every year because it is their only chance. So it's not like they frame it as if it's like a way to give honor to your country and like represent your state. But the truth is, most eligible boys are submitting because it's their only thought and their only option. So that's what makes it actually way worse, because like it's not compulsory, but it low key is. And then apparently they justify it by saying that there's a boost in productivity in the country after every walk. And Mark Hamill is like the bad guy who's like running the whole thing, and he like, I don't know, he's like running the country. He's some type of like government guy. He's the Secretary of War, dead ass. And so, long story short, the long walk is about that. It's literally us like with these boys as they go on this walk and have these like conversations. And it's what you think it would be. It's a mix of like Walking Dead and Hunger Games and Squid Games, but like a little bit more grounded. And there's some great performances. That's what I'm going to put in my 3-minute movie review on Instagram and TikTok. So anyway, yeah, that's what I've been on. It was a good movie. There was one viral screening where they had viewers walk on a treadmill for the 3-mile pace, and if they went below, they had to get out the movie theater. I
I
think
like
that
that.
would have been cool. Yeah, I wish there was more of those. But like, let me tell you something. I checked my phone maybe 2 times, which means I would have definitely, I would have missed this movie because that's you think, oh yeah, I can do a minute 48 at a 3-mile pace, but like three miles per minute pace, but can you really? So, um, yeah, it was a good movie. It's worth seeing. The point I was trying to make originally was just like, damn, you watch these dystopian movies and you think this is so weird. This can never be like this. Like The Giver. The Giver has a whole different structure of society. So you're like, oh, that's so far fetched, but like I get the allegory, right? Or like Animal Farm, I get the allegory, right? This movie was like, oh, this could happen in 25 years.
Okay. Won't watch that.
You say you won't?
I won't. I won't watch that.
That wasn't my objective. I was just telling you how deep it is. It's deep.
And it just came out, and you just spoiled the whole thing.
I spoiled nothing because that's all exposition that is clarified for you within the first 20 minutes. That has nothing to do with what you should know that going in, or else you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? What is this?" I think this. You might think this is a rom com. No, like know what you're getting into before you get into it. But yeah, I didn't spoil anything because as you can imagine, it's about the characters and about the story, and then it's about the ending, and if you can predict the ending. I didn't
All right.
spoil nothing. Come back and tell me if I spoiled it. Now, mind you, tell me if I spoiled it, but I don't think I spoiled it. I think I set it up pretty well.
Actually, I never heard of it, so you did explain something that I didn't even know existed. I'm just kidding about spoiling it. Let's get
Well,
into the
because the whole
recap.
time I kept asking myself, why the hell are they walking?
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
Why the hell are they walking is a great way to end that. I should clip that and just play that as a soundboard. Anytime
Please
somebody's
do.
doing
Right.
something completely random in a TV show, that's what I'm gonna play.
What
Why
time
the
is it
hell are
right
they
now?
walking? 9:13.
No, what are we like? It's 9:13 your time.
Yeah, 39
What are
minutes.
we, an hour in? 39
30.
minutes? Okay.
Flashback. Peacemaker season 2, episode 4 kicks off with a flashback to 35 years ago, and we see young Chris and Keith and they racist ass daddy hunting. And
By the way, he has the long, straight black hair. He got his wig from the Malfoy wig shop.
the who?
That
Malfoy.
was,
Isn't
yeah.
that Harry Potter?
He's getting. Yeah, remember Lucius
See, I
Malfoy?
know.
Remember when Jason Isaacs had that luscious bust down 613? That's where he got his from. Because why was it so straight and cute? I'm like, who put this wig on this man?
And there was some weird creature that like fell or made some noise that was hurt.
Yeah, I noticed it. They were hunting, and you would think it was a like a stag or something, but then like I was like, this looked like a human.
Yes, it looked like a creature from another dimension. But
Yeah,
nothing that I could
it was
pick out
giving
from
Gollum.
the comic book. So maybe it's a deep
It
cut.
was giving, yeah, it was giving Gollum. It was like if you want to know just like what it looked like.
And then Chris says, "Daddy, don't kill it." And he slapped the shit out of him and said, "I don't take orders from you." Boom, boom, killed the thing. Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they see that he had a device, which I have a theory of what this device is.
Okay.
And then they walk over and they were like, Keith was like, I think he was going somewhere. Something's over there. And so they keep walking through the woods and they see a portal entry door like that he has in his closet. and we cut to the credits. Were you
And mind you,
expecting this?
we're skipping over, like, he really should not have killed this alien. He definitely should have said, if he had any respect for humankind, mankind, anything, he would have said, oh my gosh, like, an alien, guys, we need to get this somewhere. Or if he was even an interesting person, he'd be like, the guys at the lodge are going to love this. But instead, he just shoots it in the head and kills it. And the thing is, like, almost saying, hey, please don't do this. It's almost speaking English. Like, it's so humanoid, and he kills it anyway. So it's like, it's just further reason why we do not mess with his daddy, because his daddy is a jerk who kills innocent aliens.
So then we catch up with Economos and Judomaster. And Judomaster is basically recounting what happened last season when Economos hit him with the fucking car and beat his ass with the tire iron. He's like, you remember that? He's like, you goddamn right I remember that. And then Birdman comes in.
Economos is being real hardcore right now.
Birdman comes in and starts talking shit about Judomaster, called him a quote unquote Chinaman. And he's like, I'm not Chinese, I'm fucking Vietnamese. And the Birdman didn't pay no attention to that at all.
He literally goes, ain't that in China?
Yeah. Ain't that in China? And
he sound like Parker Posey.
He sounds like Michael Rucker. He always sound like that.
No, that is Michael Rucker. I'm saying, remember when Parker Posey was like, "Oh, we in China?
We in
Vietnam."
Yeah. That's a good callback. Look at you. Okay, that is exactly what he sounded like. And so Economos tells Bordeaux that the ladies, what did I write? Economos tells Bordeaux ladies was winking like he had her around.
So, you need to stop referring to this man as ladies man.
I wrote in my notes, the ladies man was winking like he had her around the finger.
LaFleur, that's not his name. His name Fleury. It's like Fleury, but I'm gonna call him LaFleur.
And Bordeaux was like, is this true? And he was like, nah, I was winking like we all in this together. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, when does anybody wink about we all in this together? What the fuck are you talking about?
But also, it's such a ridiculous idea that like this CIA adjacent woman would be mad that somebody winked about like the wink, like the. I think what I enjoy about it is you think Chris is an asshole, but then you find out everybody in this universe is a dick. Like, why are y'all quibbling about this at the end of the day?
So then we cut to Chris's house, but in the meantime, Economos is like pulling out his phone, but trying to hide it, like what he's doing on it when he's on the in the back of the truck. So Chris wakes up. He finally notices the fucking bullet holes in his wall and ceilings.
And if you remember at the end of the last episode, he literally like saved the day in the other universe, and he like had his moment with his brother and what's her name, and he's like you said, he's stumbling back in and he's looking at the ceiling and he sees a bullet hole, and then he starts looking around and he finally realizes his place is trash.
He goes to look for Eagly. Eagly's in the fridge trying to get some fucking food.
Eating cold cuts.
And he's like, Eagly, this is my fucking food, not your food. And he's like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. He gets a message.
Like, nigga, I literally saved your life and your livelihood, so please give me my damn salami. Give me my bologna.
He gets a text message from Economos, and he's
Do you have this text message?
No, I was looking for. I should have taken a screenshot of it. Did you write it down?
No, I can find it though.
He's trying to read this fucking text message, and he's completely fucking it up, trying to read what it says.
Yeah, because obviously he's texting without looking, so there's some typos, but he's also like taking way too long to read the context clues of like there's enough context clues in there for him to get it, and so yeah.
It was completely obvious what Economos was trying to say, but he was reading that shit like he never read anything before. Actually, I think I have it.
Like it was okay. Thank you. No, you got it.
All right, it is
because and it's funny because I wonder like if I would. I always put myself in this position and wonder, like, would I understand somebody's trying to warn me, or would I be pressed about typos? Like, would I literally be reading and be like, they're so dumb, or would I be standing in my kitchen while, because the whole point is that the Argus team is because like they pick up right at the end of the last episode, so if it has been a whole week and you haven't thought about it, the Argus team is going after Chris. They're trying to get the dimensional portal because, one, I think it's like illegal to have it, and two, like what's his name, freaking senior, what's his name, Joel Kinnaman Senior wants to go after Peacemaker for killing his son, and
Rick
so the whole
Flag
task force is
Sr.
coming. Rick Flag Senior, yeah, but
What did you
Joel
call
Kinnaman's
him?
actor. The actor's name, Joel Kinnaman.
That's not the actor.
That's literally Rick Flag Jr.'s name.
Oh, Rick Flag Jr. Okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about. Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't know the other guy's name. And then not to say, he's doing a great job. And then they sent Economos and
Frank
LaFleur
Grillo.
in.
Play Crossbones.
They sent Economos and Fleur in, but like Eagly whipped everybody's ass. They fucked titties up, and so now the whole team is coming back for revenge.
The Economos message says, "Get," with a 6 at the end. Out off, all one word. Year, YR house. Immediately.
Okay.
With
so
ends.
Get out house is enough. That's enough. Get out house.
Immediately with ends. Immediately. Argus. Tangent.
That's, yeah. So you're telling me you heard Argus and you don't get, like, you think it's tangent? Like, I'm pretty sure you heard Argus and the gent should make you say, oh, Argus agent, but okay.
About to enter because of diminishing Piortal. And Teehee gonna kill Eagly. Leave, Leve.
Like literally kill Eagly. We heard get out home. Argus, kill Eagly. And he's like, kind of you asshole. What are you trying to say? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Why don't you take a step outside and give him a phone call?
I didn't watch this on my computer, so I didn't get clips this time. And I would have definitely clipped that because that was fucking funny.
Yeah, he was sitting there trying to decipher it. Then he figures it out. Eagly, by the way, is like very serious about getting this baloney. Like he's like very much like, I don't give a fuck. And mind you, Eagly did just like he just defended the house and home. So he's like, I want to eat. I want to eat your food. I don't want my freaking kibbles and bits. So he gives them the baloney. They run out the house. They run out the back while everyone's coming around, like the sides and the front. So basically he just has just that much time to get out.
Well, they argue about who they're going to work with, and Bordell tells Economist she's going to have to work with the Birdman, and Economist is like, I thought we had a deal, like I wasn't going to do that shit. So they go in the backyard,
and mind you, we had that whole scene we talked about where it's like we talked about should you quit your job when they have you doing something bad, and as soon as they fire him, he's like, all right, I'll just do the bad thing. And it's like once you're back in, they're going to just make you go do worse and worse stuff. Like Economos could have just said, you know what, send me my severance check. He could have spent the rest of the episode looking for jobs. He did.
When he gets back there, Birdman wants to kill Eagly. He's Eagly flying in the air. And Economos is trying to figure out what to do. And then
I have a question for you. Do you think Eagly has the defense mechanisms to be able to dodge a bullet? Or do you think Eagly would sit and pray? Yeah.
Eagly would sit and pray.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
And Economos knocks over Michael Rooker's character, makes his head bust into a rock. He's completely knocked the fuck out. Then we see Judomaster backflipping after Chris in the woods, like Mortal Kombat.
It's Mortal Kombat, but it's giving like, do you know the Power Rangers, the 90s Power Rangers? They used to like
very
flip
much
everywhere
like that.
Instead of running. That's what it's giving. He just flips his way there instead of running. And mind you, he's keeping up with Peacemaker. So something's to be said about this theory that flipping your way there gets you there faster.
They get into a little tussle, and then they fall down this hill, roll down this hill, and then Judomaster lands first, and then John Cena's big ass lands on top of Judomaster and crushes him. He's done.
Yeah, so there's a pretty decent fight scene though, and I get excited. I don't know, this is corny of me, but I get excited whenever I see John Cena do like a wrestling move. But basically, they're throwing each other around, hitting trees and whatnot. And like Brandon says, they eventually get to a moment where like, the other important thing is that like that cone-looking crown.
All right, let's talk about that.
He's been carrying. well, I just want to say before that, it's clearly very important because he keeps going after it even when Judomaster's fighting him. So like he needs to have it. And the reason why they go down that like hill is because it falls down the hill and John Cena goes, well, I'll just go after it. And that's how he knocks him out. What are your theories about what it is?
I am convinced that is a mother box.
A mother box?
A mother box, yes. Usually mother boxes are in the form of a box. Okay. But sometimes they're not. So a mother box is a device that can open what's called a boom tube. It's often associated with people from Apocalypse, where Darkseid lives in the New Gods. But it's essentially Cyborg.
Slow down. Who is the New Gods? What does that mean?
The New Gods are really powerful beings. You have Apocalypse, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda.
Where do they come from?
They're from different parts of the universe. And I mean, you've seen Darkseid. Like Darkseid was in Justice League. He was.
Was he?
Yes, he was the daddy of what's his face? The villain of Justice League, of the Justice League movie.
It's not recalling.
What's his name? Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf's daddy is Darkseid. We see Darkseid at the end looking through a portal. I don't remember
this nigga at all.
But
you saw him through a portal.
Yes, through a boom tube. Okay. Also, Cyborg can open boom tubes. But essentially boom tubes are basically portals that can take you to different dimensions and different parts of universe. Okay.
Now this like makes sense, but I just want to point out for the baddies who are listening, they won't know what the fuck you're talking about. So it sounds like
the baddies watch Justice League cartoon,
but they don't remember the cartoon. You're not talking about Zack Snyder's movie?
Yeah, the cartoon. Well, no, he was in the movie, but we saw mother boxes in the movie too. Those were those golden box things that was going, if you remember.
Okay, so y'all, it's the thing that just already exists in this universe where it'll take you. The portal things basically are in other places. They come from another universe, and people have been using them. We just don't know how them on Earth. That's what I'm taking away from this.
There's some other boxes on Earth, but they're ancient.
That's what I'm saying. But like, they're not like, that's not a thing you would have known about before from watching other stuff outside of Justice League. And it's within this universe. It's not, it's only confusing to humans. Like other people on other planets know about it.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. I imagine in this universe, there's some people who know about mother boxes because this universe is lived in. Like the heroes already exist and been dealing with shit. But yeah.
Well, people boxes, who deal with outer worlds, but like regular people walking around won't know.
No, they don't know what the fucking mother box is. Now, it may not be because mother boxes usually look like a box, right? But there are times when they look different. And so they open boom tubes.
A variation of it. We won't know until we get there.
And the reason why I say that is because boom tubes, when they open, they suck in a bunch of stuff, like, and then they explode, boom. And then it opens a portal.
And then you can walk and that's what happened. And that's what the freak happened, Brandon. I think you called this one.
So I don't know, but maybe. But if they do that, that could set up something really big because James Gunn did it. James Gunn did an interview before the show started. And he said that Peacemaker season 2 is going to reveal what the big hint at what the big overarching theme of his
point of everything is
of his first phase or whatever, Gods and Monsters.
So we're getting into like Avengers territory for them. We're getting into Justice Gang new big villain territory.
Yeah, Darkseid is the biggest of villains. He's the biggest of big bad.
Okay,
I don't know if we're gonna see Darkseid, but yeah, he's related to it.
Okay, good to know, because from my Marvel rewatch, I'm realizing like there were little hints to Thanos all throughout, like randomly. And so if you didn't know what was coming, in hindsight, you're like, oh shit, they've been telling me he's the big bad guy the whole time, even while they've been dealing with other villains.
Exactly. So yeah, James Gunn mentioned that he didn't explicitly say we're going to find out 100%, but he said there's going to be a big hint to the overarching theme of everything that's happening in the first part of his DCU.
And to be clear, in my opinion, I think the only thing that DCU has been, well, like the only thing that DCU has been missing has been that strategy around like building the universe around itself, and directors being on this. I guess James Gunn is just going to take it all, but like directors being on the same page about like, hey, this is building. We're all working towards the same
Well, they only had
storyline. So
one
that's
movie.
honestly, I mean, the commercials, the cartoons, whatever. Like, I think they could have did everything Marvel did with cartoons if they had
Oh, you're talking about
the
Zack
desire.
Snyder's universe.
No, I'm just talking about DC has existed before today, and like they only had one movie, but my point is there's DC stuff that's out, and so had they been, what I'm trying to say is I think for the layman's like me who didn't know that DC had quality characters, the reason why Marvel had the perception of having better characters is because it had a strategy around the characters, and the movies
That's
played
correct.
into each other very well, instead of people being like, this movie's here, this movie. Because I'm telling you, if you had told me from the beginning I need to pay attention to everything in Marvel, I would have been like, this is too much work. But now that I'm invested, because I'm like, oh, this is easy to follow, I can add on the details. So DCU doing that is smart to start building on, like, okay, Justice League. Well, I guess fuck Justice League. Actually, never mind. We were putting that aside. So then it goes Superman. Okay, I can handle Superman. I can handle Peacemaker. I don't have to watch Peacemaker, but I can handle you telling me about Peacemaker until the next Justice Gang. Like, I can. It's starting to pick up steam, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why they hired him, to redo all of this, because Zack Snyder fucked it all up. But no, you're absolutely right. And Marvel also had to do that. They didn't have a choice because they didn't have their characters when they started Marvel Studios. So they didn't have none of their A-list characters. So they had to build
being Spider-Man, and who else is the A-list characters?
X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four.
And
Daredevil.
You know what? They don't even feel like A-list characters anymore. That's how strong that strategy was.
Yes, and so
Spider-Man to me feels weak as fuck compared to everybody else. I'm like, who needs
well,
that?
Spider-Man is still
he's a side character.
Spider-Man is still, outside the Avengers, their biggest movies, like by far, because Spider-Man.
No, I agree with you. Because
I know what you're saying.
Spider-Man's
Yeah,
as old as baseball. No, but I'm saying Spider-Man's classic like baseball. But like in the scheme of how they built out these characters, yes. I am more interested in Iron Man as a character and as a movie.
Exactly, that was their strategy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
that's how strong their strategy was.
They didn't have their A-list characters. That everyone, because you got to remember, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, the X-Men were the biggest superhero characters, them and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest selling comic book of all time is still X-Men #1 in 1993. Like, X-Men was huge, right? And they didn't have the rights to those characters. So when they had to make a universe, they were like, okay, we're not going to get people in off of just name value. Come see the X-Men or come see Spider-Man. We got to get people to come because they care and to come back. And so they cast Robert Downey Jr. They say, you're this like overwhelming, like gregarious character, like this big personality that can bring people in. We're going to build everything around you and build off of that. And that was the strategy. And it clearly worked because it got non-comic book diehards into these movies, which was their goal.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting just in the scheme of like the characters themselves. It shows that most comic book characters were people who looked like the original Steve Rogers back in the day. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Spider-Man is not that impressive of a character in the grand scheme of all characters. So the fact that it was the biggest is very much giving like who the core audience was back in the day.
Well, Spider-Man was Spider-Man is the most popular superhero, even bigger than Batman, because there's one thing Stan Lee used to always say is that he wrote Spider-Man to be anybody. Anybody can be under that mask.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Anybody can be under that mask, and you can relate to him. And Peter Parker was broke. He was broke, ain't had no money, was kind of just like an average dude, right? Didn't have the hottest this and hottest that. And it was like this thing that anybody could relate to. So like Spider-Man was like this huge character because of that. And so DC has the opposite, right? DC has gods, right? You got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, you got the Green Lanterns. They have like super mythical forces and all the different super powerful people. And so they had to tell different stories. But
to be fair, I think even that point is exactly what I'm trying to say. You're saying it could be everyone, but I'm watching this and I couldn't be Spider-Man. That I don't relate to that character. So it was still, even though that was idea, it's only the certain demographic even bought into that. with Spider-Man.
Why couldn't you
And I
relate
feel
to
like
Spider-Man?
because I don't relate to this gangly white guy, right? Like, but I feel like a black guy
But
can see
he's
himself
not.
in that role.
See, that was the point.
He's
He could
not,
be
but
anyone.
he is, but he actually is the point, is what I'm telling you. Like, so when I'm
Yes.
watching it, that's how I'm watching it. And so the point, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that I think, and now that I know what I know, like, obviously you already know how I feel about X-Men. I know you don't appreciate them as
Oh
much as
my
I
God.
do,
We're not
but
doing this.
no, I appreciate the X-Men movies and I love them and they're near and dear to me. I'm just saying that even now,
Why don't you? That's what I challenge you to do. When you're done with Marvel movies, go back and watch those movies. Go back and watch after you watch these great.
I still got too many. I'm
That's what
literally
I'm saying.
still in
After
phase
you
2.
watch these great Marvel movies, then I want you to go back and watch these X-Men movies, and then I want you to tell me with a straight face that they're good movies. That's what I want to see.
I'll do it. Like, make
That's
it
what I
like
want to see.
What's the name of the guy who plays Albert for British? Christian Bale.
That plays who?
Albert, his butler. What's the butler's name?
Oh, no idea who you're talking about.
What's Batman's butler's name?
Alfred. Yes,
Alfred.
I was like, who is Alfred?
For Christian Bale. I'm so close. Who plays the butler for Christian Bale? What's the name? He's a famous actor.
Oh, from the Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Okay. So there's this comedian. I'm not gonna give him credit because he got canceled. I guess he got forgiven, but the point is he had this joke about how Michael Caine would do anything, and those cinema script people are like, I'll do it. He'll just do every movie. And so that's what I was gonna say to you. I accept your challenge to go back and watch X-Men. I'll do it. Like I'll do it. I'll go watch it. Can you clip that too?
Yeah.
Are you going? Okay. So anyway,
and the only way you'll tell me that is if your pride kicks in. That's how that'll work.
You don't know. I will be honest,
okay.
and if I tell you that, it means I love those movies, and there's nothing you could tell me.
Okay.
It's just nothing you could tell me. But long story short, I think that wow, lo and behold, right? Like, look at what characters emerge, and it's the same thing I was telling you when I started watching Dark Knight, and I realized I'm currently underwhelmed by Batman, and I never felt that way before. So it's just like, I guess because I have been enjoying the Thors of the world and even like working my way into the Black Widows of the world, that I'm like, these other guys are not as cool anymore. So that is so interesting when you think back to the fact that losing those or not having those rights pushed Marvel to go to other heights. And now, like, don't even think of it as Marvel versus DC. You just think like, okay, cool. This is a way to use IP and to launch it in a really cool, different way, in like a strategic way that nobody, even Sony can't do this with all that Sony owns. Like, Sony can go do fucking, that's Nintendo. No, that is Nintendo and Sony are rivals.
Sony owns Spider-Man. Okay.
I guess what I'm trying to say, but Sony owns, Sony is interesting, and it's that one of the only studios that also has video game IP that they can pull from very easily. So the other thing is, like, Sony all the time is able to go, they like have a whole department of researching IP and figuring out what should be the next movie hit. All I'm saying is that Marvel, of all these places that are recreating IP from books and shit and making it into movies, Marvel hit the sweet spot in finding the characters and building them in a way that like invested the whole world. And so I think that I no longer see it as Marvel better than DCU, and more just Marvel did it in a way that everybody else IP wise can start to think about modeling after that and building a universe. And we'll see how DC does it.
DC's not going to do that because they have to they can't be Marvel Jr. They have to do something different. And what they're doing different is James Gunn is saying, we're going to have a connected universe, yes, but we are going to make movies and TV shows for everyone. And when I mean everyone, I mean not every movie is for everyone. Meaning, I'm going to make certain projects for this group of people, and certain projects for this group of people, and certain projects for this group of people. Whereas like Marvel movies, all of them are for everyone, right? They're all PG-13. They're all the same kind of formula. Every movie is meant for everyone. What James Gunn is saying is, I'm going to give you Creature Commandos, which is TVMA animated and dark as fuck. I'm going to then give you Superman, which is a family friendly movie for like this beacon of hope that's for everyone to go see. That's bright. Then I'm going to give you Peacemaker, who's like this fucked up guy sniffing coke, having orgies, like trying to find his way as a superhero. I'm going to give you Clayface, which is coming up, which is a horror movie, right? And they're getting like actual real life horror directors to direct Clayface. It's going to be a horror movie. Swamp Thing is going to be a horror movie, right? So his idea is we're going to have this connected universe, but we're going to have all these different genres and characters and types of films to appeal to different groups of people's tastes. So if you don't like kiddie movies, you can go watch Rated R Swamp Thing or Rated R Clayface in a horror movie. If you want to see something more adult and sexual and mature, you can watch Peacemaker. If you want to take your kids to go see something, you can go watch Superman. And so that is his strategy, is to like kind of be different with that, which he has to be quite honest. Like, you're right in the sense of like how it worked for Marvel. But at this point, what are we, like 30 movies in? 2008 was Iron Man. So we're almost 20 years into the MCU. If DC just came out and did what they did, it would just be looked at as you're trying to copy Marvel. They have to do something a little different, which is why we're getting what we're getting with Peacemaker in these different movies. Hell, Supergirl is depressed, alcoholic, right? Who's fucked up. Like, that's what we like. That's the movie that we're getting, and that's from a comic book. It's like taken straight out of a comic book. But Marvel never even did that with Tony Stark, and that's like the biggest thing that he was known for before the movies, is that he was an alcoholic drunk. Like, that was what Tony Stark was known for in the comic books and in IP, and they didn't even really go down that road because they wanted to stay on this even thing. They didn't make Hank Pym. If DC, do you know Hank Pym, right, from Ant-Man, right? Do you know what Hank Pym?
I just watched it last week.
We'll continue with the show. Do you know what Hank Pym is the most famous moment of Hank Pym in the comic books ever?
Getting fellatio from a worker ant.
What are you trying to say? He got a little ass. What you trying to say?
If he went down to ant size, it would be.
Oh, I guess it would be proportional. Okay.
The fuck? What do you mean? That's not the weirdest part of what I just said.
That was the weirdest part. I thought you were trying to slide my man. I thought you were trying to slide my man.
No, I'm literally just saying, like, what would be something that Marvel would have said, you know what? We don't need that.
It's actually worse. It's worse.
Worse?
Yeah, it's worse. Worse than that.
Does he impregnate the queen?
This is the most famous moment that everyone knows Hank Pym from in the comic book. That's Janet. That's the Wasp.
Hold on one second. Okay.
And for those who are listening to us, this is Hank Pym.
Michael Douglas was like, I'm good.
Slapping the shit out of Janet. That is what he's known for.
That is crazy. But also, like, why? Like, they didn't, like, think about it. All this is made up. Why bring DV into it? Why bring intimate partner violence into this universe? Like, it's not necessary. This is when I'm like,
That's what he's known for. And he spent years and years and years in the comics trying to make up for it. But even within the universe, people talk shit. Villains talk shit to him. They'd be like, "You coming after me like I'm a bad person? Didn't you beat your wife?" Like, they say shit like that to him when he's trying to superhero. So they
and that is interesting because I've heard that recently, but at least this is a claim that's backed up.
So what I'm saying is DC would show that, right? But they would show that in a way to like define that character, to be like, this is a bad person we're going to tell a different story with this character. Marvel, which to be fair, is fine. I don't have no problem with it. Was just like, you know what? That never happened in our universe. That did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
That did not happen with Hank Pym. He'll be an asshole for other reasons. You know what I mean? Because he's still kind of an asshole in the universe.
I also think, like, inherently, if you're telling stories about the gods, quote unquote, or I guess lowercase g, they're always just allegories for terrible things that humans do, but they're justified because of what the gods went through, something like that, right? Like, so I think when I think of what you just said, it makes sense that DC like would lend itself to more to darker stuff, in my opinion, because like there's no ancient Greek stories that aren't like completely inappropriate, you know.
That's a good point. I never even considered that, but that was a great point. So let's get back. That was a good aside. I love that. We cut to Adebayo, Abs, and she get a magazine in the mail. And inside that magazine, in the bottom right hand corner, there's a little ad that says Adebayo Security Company. And she's all excited. She take a picture of it with her cell phone. She about to text Kia. Oh, Kia, look, I'm like, that woman told you, hey man, let me be. Like, don't bother me.
By the
Why
way,
are you
Kia's
texting
last
me this?
message to her was so rude. No, Kia's last message to her pissed me off. Like she's like pissed off. Like she's sending her rude emojis. I was like, don't text that lady no more. She don't appreciate you. I've had this moment though, because when I was crowdfunding for my sketch comedy show, which is not currently live. I guess it's on my YouTube. If you really want to watch it, it's on my YouTube. Hey T-Pace, welcome to the chat. I just saw that. But anyway, I have a sketch comedy show I made and wrote it in Mexico, filmed it in Detroit, and we crowdfunded for it. And I was so excited because like Kickstarter does a newsletter, and I was like, okay, please put my publication in there, like, you know, add me to it. Oh, I'm so excited. People will see it. They'll advertise it. It'll be so great. And then I kind of find out I'm like a bullet point in like a bigger publication that goes out like once. And I was like really thinking it would be such a big deal. That was a moment Adebayo had the same moment as me where I'm like, oh yay, finally somebody printed it. And then it's like under this huge technological thing that's going to change mankind. And then it's like my little sketch comedy bullshit. So I've had that moment before, but I felt her on that. She was just
I was more concerned with her being, they call Harcourt toxic. She low key toxic, barging into her ex's house, talking shit to her.
She would get her hair products while she was not home. She
talking
didn't touch
shit to her.
Hers.
Her ex tells her, hey dog, we need some space. Like, let me be. She's steady texting her.
The ex was being unclear.
I don't want you texting me when I told you I need some space. I'll text you. Okay.
I think you should still, are you not? I think she just is having trouble recognizing that her partner does not want to celebrate her. Like I think she's thinking maybe if she sees that this is something very real for me, or like, because what she said was really mean. She said that basically you can't build a career off of other people's talents. I'm like, have you ever met a talent agent? What do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. Have you ever met an influencer, bro? Like, what do you mean?
So back at Chris's house, Birdman wakes up and Economos is making up a lie about what happened to him. Talking about another eagle came down and attacked his ass. And
just making some shit up. I mean, why couldn't he just say you tripped and fell, bro?
And Birdman was like, you know what that means? Eagly must be the prime eagle. Everything that's going on in the world is because of this fucking eagle, which means we have to
I literally thought he was going to say, oh, it's foretold. I cannot kill this eagle. This eagle is special because another eagle follows it. It must be the chosen eagle. But no, he actually used that as a way to double down on like, I got to kill Eagly today.
Economos asks, are you even Native American? It says, calls him Captain Cultural Appropriation. And he said, and then Birdman says, we may not agree on everything, but we all agree that Eagly got to die. And Economos is like, I did not agree with that at all.
He never said that.
Like what are you talking about?
I'm so against that. I've been so clear that I'm not on the same page with you.
But while Adebayo was bothering her ex about her security firm, she gets a text from Chris telling her to come pick her up. So she meets him with her Caprice, picks him up from the woods, and he's basically telling him everything that's been going on. Back at Chris's house, they're catching up because he wasn't there, and Bordeaux sees Economos looking like completely out of it. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And Economos, he is fed up at this point. He's like, "I'm sick of this shit. This is dumb. We're going after this person for no reason. You got this stupid bird person with me and this dumbass over here who's horrible." And Fleury was like, "Calm down, Ginger Cool." And Economos was like, "Don't fucking call me that," and spits on him.
Okay, Economos was doing the most. Economos didn't have to spit. Like, he spit across the room.
He was on a million at this point. And then Bordeaux kind of looks back at him and gives him the wink just to like piss him off even more that he was doing. So back to
also to piss him off, but it's also his way of being like, "Hey, remember how you tried to lie and say that a wink means we're all in this together?" Like yes. I'm being ironic.
Chris is telling Adebayo everything that happened and talking about how he has to move this door, and he was like, "We found this from an alien when I was a kid." And Adebayo was like, "I thought your dad was a genius." He was like, "My dad didn't graduate 10th grade. He don't know how to make a fucking interdimensional portal." And he was like, "But you said your dad made your helmets." And he was like, I mean, he did, but it's complicated. So I guess we're gonna find out what happened with that.
It's giving James Gunn rewriting history in a way, because they really did make it like his dad was a genius. Like, I understand this might have always been the backstory. I don't want to know if it is or not, but it's just funny because now whenever they change context, I wonder if this is like if this is a way to bring in the bigger universe, right? Or because it really seemed like his dad had a lab, and the lab was part of the house, and his dad created the things.
I think he wants us to think somebody that racist ain't gonna be smart. That type of
I agree, but then they shouldn't have made him be in the lab tinkering with stuff in a lab that, like, all I'm saying is season 1, it was not connected to something bigger. Again, I'm not mad about it, like, I understand, but it's just funny because I'm like, y'all had us thinking he was an evil genius. He built his suit was good, but I guess it did have holes in it. It did have weak points that Vigilante pointed out. So
then Chris Economos calls and says he's gonna open the door, and Chris he basically tells Chris that he's back in there getting his shit because they want him to open the fucking door, and Chris is like, "Stall, just stall, give me some time." So back in the car, Chris is he finally tells out somebody about somebody besides Vigilante about the alternate universe and about the ultimate Peacemaker. Adebayo don't really believe his ass.
Well, by the way, he told Vigilante first for once.
He did tell Vigilante first.
He did treat him like a BFF. Yeah, Adebayo, to be honest though, so clearly him and Adebayo are extremely close because he told her about seeing his dad at the end of the season, which we all saw too. 1 and 2, Adebayo has a very valid response to be like, "Are you sure you're okay?" Because there's no, like, why not think maybe he made it up? And then not made it up, and maybe like he manifested it and doesn't realize, because he could be delusional. You don't know. And number 3, though, I love that she's like, all right, he tells her enough. She goes, "Fuck it, I believe you." And they move forward as if you do. And that's what I need my friends to do. Because I have set it up with someone, like, if I come to you and tell you I've seen this future or whatever, I need you to be the one who believes me. I don't have time for somebody to be telling me you're making this up, you're trying to be funny. I've designated somebody to be like, you are the one I will tell. Take me serious. And I think we all should have that person in our life. So you make sure somebody in your life knows if you see aliens, that's going to be who you tell. You're not going to be joking.
That's a big fear of mine. So they get to this old ass cabin in the woods where he's going to try to set up the door. We find out that Economos is smart as shit and hacked the CIA at 14 years old.
Which is why he could get another job if he wanted to.
Maybe. Or it's maybe why he can't get another job.
Oh, because he got a bad criminal record?
Yeah.
You know who hires criminals? Baskin Robbins. No, actually, they fired Ant-Man when they found out he had a record.
They fired Ant-Man. See? So then Economos is clearly stalling, saying stupid shit, asking about cats and drawers. and all types of dumb shit
I'm
that's
surprised
obviously
he didn't
stolen.
say he had to use the bathroom. Like that would have been the perfect one to be in the bathroom making fart noises and be like, "Oh man, I can't come out." That's what I would have did. I would
Then
have been
we
like, "Ooh, IBS."
and then, and then we see what looks to be a boom tube to me because it starts. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here, Dan!" Like I was about to call it Danielle. Get out of here, Adebayo. It's got to be safe. And you see this thing like sucking in all these leaves and stuff, and then it explodes. And they walk back in, and they see it's the door, and they cut back to Economos, and he opens the closet door, and it's just a fucking closet. He looks so relieved. Bordeaux calls Rick Flag, tells him it's
Yeah.
nothing. Flag's like, how can it be fucking nothing? He immediately gets on
He's
the
like,
phone and
"Ain't no
calls
damn
Harcourt.
way."
So I was like, oh shit, I know what this is. We cut to
Yeah, she
Harcourt.
was always in his back pocket.
He's still fighting and shit. Busted ass, lips spitting up blood. Rick
Yeah,
Flag
because if we
Jr.
remember, she's diagnosed with toxic masculinity, and she's been getting in fights so she can feel something. And she's literally Fight Club. She is human Fight Club at this point. Like
Yes.
she's going to just fight random men in bars, and obviously she's very well trained, so she wins most of the fights. But it's like, come on, girl, like go to therapy.
Rick Flag Sr. shows up at her door. She's like, hey, General, what's going on? He's like, why? Don't call me General. It's Rick. Like, come on. You used to fuck my son.
But I do
What are
think
you
it's.
talking about?
But why would she know? Why would he know about her affair with his son?
Maybe his son really liked her.
But he was married, or he had a serious girlfriend.
It was the Enchantress.
Okay.
The Enchantress. So then,
all I'm saying is, if the Enchantress is that dangerous, don't bring all these family members into the lie. Let them be innocent.
She offers him coffee. She remembers how he likes it. He's like, oh, you remember that shit. And she asks, what did you remember what we talked about at my son's funeral? And he was like, listen. She was like, listen. I know what you're trying to get at. Whatever Chris did was Waller's orders. And Flag was like, you broke Waller's orders. I broke Waller's orders. When we think she's going too far, you don't do what the fuck she says. Why didn't he do that shit?
But to be fair, the whole point was they just killed a bunch of people. So no, I don't necessarily know. I mean, I do think Peacemaker was a dick at this point. We know that. Like that's kind of the whole point of the story arc. But it's like the reason why they pulled people only pulled the plug on Waller when she was like, hey, okay, so like, yeah, let's kill everybody. Let's kill all your coworkers. Yeah. Like that's the only time that people were like, okay, she's gone too far. But every other time people were dropping bombs on kids. Like it was not ever a situation where like people were like, oh, I can't kill it. Like he was gonna kill every man, woman, and child for the sake of peace. So like it's not, I get it, but it's very much giving like you wouldn't care unless this was your child. And I think that is a empathy gap that we have in general when it comes to violence that we need to really work on in this world.
So then he basically confirms that she's been blackballed and that Waller did it. She can't be hired by any intelligence agency for the rest of her life. And Waller wanted to blame someone for Adebayo outing her on TV and just picked her. It's like, I'm blaming the fucking
But mind you, if she's so powerful, but if Senior wants to get back at her because she's the one who gave the order, why not just hire her back as a way to say F you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's clearly a manipulation because if he really wanted to stick to Waller, he would hire back his girl and be like, she's the only one who had Rick Flag Sr.'s back. I'm not about to do this to her.
Well, it's because he don't have the power to do that and he's using her.
But he has enough power to do all this other stuff. You're telling me he don't have power? He has a lot of power. Clearly, he's running Black Ops missions to kill people. But he can't hide. He can't get her through payroll. He can't fake her identity and get her on I-9.
He don't have more power than Waller. But wait till you watch Wait till you watch the Waller TV show. Amanda Waller is one of the most fascinating characters.
But you told me nothing's in this universe unless he says it. So I'm just seeing a plot hole.
What do you mean? We've seen Amanda Waller in this universe.
But I'm seeing a plot hole in the idea that he has all this power to do everything he's doing, except to get HR to
Yes.
process this hire.
He can't overrule Waller because he's not above her. He used to work for her. She's
Okay, but
basically, so in this universe, and they've established it in this
Mhm.
season, but in this universe, Amanda Waller is under congressional. She has to go do congressional appearances, talk to Congress about what the fuck happened. So she's kind of like on leave or whatever. So Rick Flag Sr. has taken her spot while she's on leave doing this shit. But while she's on leave, she's still very much Amanda Waller and in charge, is what they're saying. Like she's still very much still the most
No,
popular person.
I do understand that. What I'm saying is if he's able to come over and just take over Argus, you act like you don't have a friend who work security detail at Securitas and can't slip her resume in. Like I'm just saying he's this
Yeah, but she
powerful
don't
to
want
be
to
able to
work
go
there.
after
She want to go.
Peacemaker.
She said it here. She was like, "This has been my whole career. This is what I studied for. This is what I was bred for, and I can't do it." He was talking about that.
I'm just saying that I don't think this is probable, but okay. I mean, I get it's a show. I'm just telling you the whole point here is we just
You
try to
hating
figure
on
out if
Amanda
this
Waller.
makes sense or not.
One of us
I'm not
believes
hating on-
one of us believes the black woman can be the most powerful person. The other one thinks it has to be the white man.
What I'm saying is he's doing a lot of stuff against like everything he's doing right now is against what the government has already said Peacemaker's protected. He's going against that.
No, because there's a higher priority, which is interdimensional stuff is higher than
No, but
that.
remember there literally is a moment where what's her name says, but sir, he's protected because XYZ, and he goes, I don't care.
Yeah, no, he wanted someone to spy on her. And she says, "Why are we spying on him? He was one of us."
To kill him. He's sent them in to kill him, and he said, "I'm saying I know you're arguing this point, but what I'm trying to say is like I'm saying that there's a little bit of a plot hole here, and like he's using her to his advantage because if he really wanted to help her, there are ways that he could have creatively helped her because he defies a direct order by somebody by going after Peacemaker because it's said expositionally in the beginning of the season, is not Peacemaker safe because he saved the human race, and he goes, I don't give a fuck. So that's all I'm saying. He could find a way around it.
Well, technically, he was saved. Well, they say it this episode. Harcourt says it this episode. She says that she had nothing to do with Adebayo outing Waller on national TV, and that Adebayo did that to keep Chris out of prison. So, like Adebayo going on TV to out Waller is what kept Peacemaker from going to prison. If we remember the end of the first season. So she's saying that. So she's saying that like he's not in the greatest of graces. He's just like, he did a good thing. He's not in prison.
I think you forgot the moment I'm talking about. Back
I know what you're talking about with Bordeaux. Okay. You're talking about when Bordeaux went to him and was like, "Why are we doing this? He helped save us from the aliens." Mm-hmm. And he said, "I don't give a fuck."
"I don't care because I personally have my own vendetta." That's my point. Yeah. Okay.
So then
he picking and choosing.
So then Flag said, "Listen, you helped me get Peacemaker, and I might be able to use that to like call in a favor or something."
Again, because he could have been did it, but okay.
So then Adebayo says, she's like, "Hey dog, I got my ad in Pro Soldier." And Chris is like, "That is a fucking scam. They just scam advertising money." She's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, they sold 12 copies. And she's like, "Oh, that's a good joke." He's like, "No, literally. It sold 12
She's like,
copies."
12,000? He's like, "No." Poor thing. That's why I felt about my newsletter. But still, I get her.
But you did it though. And so then Chris told her that Adebayo asked him if there's a you in there, like in the other universe. He's like, "Well, there was a me in there." She was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Well, I killed that motherfucker. It was an accident though." And then he explains the love triangle over there with Rick Flag Jr. and Harcourt. And Adebayo's like, "Maybe that shit's not real." He's like, "You can't possibly be thinking about going back there." He says, "Well, I am thinking about it because I forgot to tell you, my brother's there, Keith. He's fucking alive. And Amelia's so nice, and we were together." And she was like, "I really got to make a decision to go back there. And then he makes a joke about despite the clothes that he wears. And she's like, "What's wrong with the clothes?" She's like, "Look at what the fuck I'm wearing." And so they make a joke about his clothes. So then Abs tells him, "You belong here. Don't
Well,
matter."
yeah, he's because when she first sees her, she's like, "Run, we gotta go." And she's like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" He's like, "No, no, no, it's not important. We gotta go." So then later, she's like, "Oh, you got those clothes from the other dimension," and he was like, "That's the most insulting thing you could have said to me is that you think I bought these clothes." So I mean, it's fair because he does look very it's giving zest. It's giving meathead.
Very much so. And then that's when Adrian shows up with some doors and hinges because he's gonna make a new door. He goes outside and texts Harcourt. She looks pissed to answer, like, "God damn, I'm gonna have to do this shit, but I gotta get my
And
life back
by
on
the
track."
one, that's her choice to answer, so she's gonna have to answer for that. And two, Vigilante is absolutely who you can call and say, "Hey, can you go give me a door?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, beechwood or white or black." Like that's the perfect friend to go get you a door. Because if I asked you, Brandon, can you get me a door? I think you'd have so many more questions for me. You would not show
Yes.
up at the cabin with a door.
So he wants to meet. So she tells him, "Okay." We see everybody's there. She comes out and tells Flag that, by the way, Bordeaux's supposed to be like this badass Argus agent that just like are here on a mission. And she's literally like just chilling at their house in Lululemons. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're not making Bordeaux being offended by the winking comment was like, are we trying to make her weaker than or less serious than Hardcore? Or are we trying to just make fun of the whole place? I don't know. But they hired LaFleur, so this is not a serious office. It's not a serious outfit.
She tells Flag, "This is fucked up. It's not worth your time. But you better have
I'm
more
gonna
than
do it
these
anyway.
bozos. You better have more than these bozos if you're gonna take down the Peacemaker." And Bordeaux and Fleury give her the side eye. And then we get this crazy scene of Michael Rooker doing an indigenous ritual
Bro.
to to then
Bro.
it actually works and he's able to see eagerly using
And so
fucking
my question
magic.
for you is it, if we're making fun of him being like, they call him a culture vulture, they call him like, he's trying to take advantage of like indigenous motifs, is it going too far into the joke to actually have him do a ritual that may or may not even like, I would be more impressed. I would actually be more acceptable of it if it is grounded in real ritual. Like if that is a real ritual and they found it and they used it for this, I don't know what's better or worse.
I think they're trying to say he has magic, is my guess. Not like a native, not like an indigenous like
Well, he's no,
thing.
he's perpetrating because he has on all this stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's giving Bucky if Bucky wanted to rep Wakanda, right? Like he probably did. Maybe he trained, right? Who knows where
Maybe he
what
learned it
tribe
from
took him in,
yeah.
right? Legitimately. But my point is just like they introduce him as a ridiculous character who's so silly and ridiculous because he has all this stuff on, and then they give him a real ritual, and so it's like, is it almost like they're taking back making fun of? I'm thinking like from a writing perspective, does
Oh,
it
okay.
actually
I got
make it
you. I got
offensive?
you.
Does it actually make it offensive that he does know what he's talking about and he's that ridiculous? I can't be sure.
I feel like it would be I don't find it I don't think it's offensive either way, but I think it would be offensive if so like in back in the day in wrestling, right? In the 70s. They had this guy named Joe Scarpa. Joe Scarpa. Okay. That's his real
Okay,
name.
thank you. I'm like, I
Okay.
know that's not his name. Okay.
Joe Scarpa. He was a wrestler in the 60s. And well, actually, he might have started in the 50s, to be honest with you. When did Joe Scarpa start wrestling? 1947. Okay, he started wrestling in 1947. He retired in 87. But he started wrestling in 1947. He under his real name, Joe Scarpa, right? The Italian dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 70s, he changed his name to Chief J Strongbow. Late 60s and 70s. And he wore a whole feather mat. He wore a whole feather like headdress. and the whole nine. And you know how like Hulk Hogan, when he would wrestle at the end of a match, he would like Hulk up, and they call it hulking up, and he'd get himself worked up, and that's when he points at you and does the leg drop and everything, right? Joe Scarpa would do a quote unquote Indian dance around the ring, and he'd do just in your mind, think about what I'm saying. He'd dance around the ring, doing the sounds and everything, right? But it was presented as serious. To me, that is completely offensive, because you want me to believe this man is an actual Native American named Chief J Strongbow who's doing this stuff. Whereas in this, I think they're presenting it as he's kind of like this quirky dude, and everybody looks at him like he's this guy that's just making up shit and doing this. But in reality, he actually does have some background in it, and it's legitimate to him. I think that's what the show's trying to tell us. But I was with you when I first saw this. But when I thought about it, I was like, I think I get what they're trying to tell us. I think they're trying to tell us is like, just like you said with Bucky. Like Bucky, if Bucky went to Wakanda when he was like 8 and just grew up in Wakanda with that, he would probably do stuff that they do.
But to be honest, though, that's a great. You gave me kudos on my point, and actually, I'm gonna take back my point, because if he actually was a white Wakandan, he would actually look like Tommy from Power. Like he would look like the white man. No, don't hear me out. He would look like the white man raised around black people who is still white, but he wouldn't. Like they wouldn't just put whatever the thing was called that Killmonger had. He wouldn't just have those. You know what I'm saying? He'd still have his. He wouldn't have like. He wouldn't be using a sponge. You know what I'm saying? Like he still have his haircut. It would just be the white guy cool style of that. That's actually what I'm trying to say. So that you helped me to decide that it is actually still messed up, but they're being very funny. But like you said, he has this like, I don't even want to name it because I actually think that's offensive. Like not apparently, I don't know if you know this, but like even using like powwow, using these terms that we don't understand, two-spirit, like using these things we don't get without like having a grounded sense of it is wrong. So I'm just going to say they did a ritual that was giving Native, it was giving indigenous. We don't actually know if it is. I pray that somebody consulted somebody.
I'm pretty sure it was not a real ritual.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I think it's actually real. I think it would be actually more responsible to consult someone to do it wrong, to make sure it's wrong and not accidentally right, than anything else. Like some Native population should have been paid for this. But anyway, he does this thing and he intuits where the fuck Eagly is, and he figures out.
Well, he's like he opens his third eye. He says it earlier. He says, my third eye is open. He
busted his head open and his head's bleeding, forehead's bleeding. And then by the way, that was not realistic, because forehead, I've seen somebody bust their forehead open before. So much blood. Like you think somebody's head is bust split open. That was not realistic cut.
And so then Economos sees Harcourt helping them get Peacemaker. He gives her the side eye. He's basically like, look, I've been doing my job, but I've been doing everything I possibly could to like help him.
I've been doing a bad job at it. Yeah, I'm much better at this than I'm
not
off.
actually going out there and doing this shit.
You didn't even like give a 6 instead of a 9. You know what I mean? It's like in The Departed when they accidentally got the wrong address. Like, you're not even trying to tell me that we're on Baker Street and we're on Barker Street. Like, you literally are like, yeah, let me drop this pen actually. Can you meet me there? Like, I will say this. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that like they're not going to kill Peacemaker, so we know that. But like, I want for Chris by the end of this season to believe in his own self-worth and recognize that he deserves better than Harcourt, actually, and that her allegiance will always. He just doesn't. He hasn't put 2 and 2 together that like in this dimension she's also with Rick Flag Jr. But I want him to get over her.
Well, that's because he was a dick in that dimension to her. That's because that version of Peacemaker was a dick.
No, I'm saying it's not clocking to him yet that like the reason why it's happening in that dimension is because it also happened in this dimension, but it looked different. I think because there's no other real reason why Harcourt is that resistant to him, because like her initial idea of who he is not who he is. So like it's kind of like that man's actually your friend. And I say this all the time. Like, if a man is actually your friend, oh man, I don't want to get back into a corner here. But if you are willing, if in this day and age, you are actually willing to be friends to a man, then you should actually be willing to date that man. Or you don't need to be that man's friend for real.
So Chanel, remember our theory? That's the end of the episode, by the way. Remember our theory? Remember we talked about how there was only white people in this alternate universe? In the alternate universe?
Yeah.
So it's become a big thing now across the board.
Because it's probably true.
From from nerd videos and just regular like YouTube review shit. Like it's become this thing that everyone believes.
People who are praying that there's no people of color. Somebody out there is hoping.
Well, no, they think that universe is Earth X, and I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Earth X. Tell me what the Earth X is in 30 seconds. Can you do it that quick?
No, I can do it in 50 seconds. They did Earth X in the Arrowverse, right? Like the CW shows. They did Earth X there, and I think they did a movie, an animated movie, Crisis on Earth X. I'm pretty sure that was an animated movie. But Earth X is an alternate Earth. Crisis on Earth X was an animated movie. Earth X is an alternate Earth where, take a guess what was different in that universe. Take a wild guess.
Earth X, wait, which Earth are we on? It's like 613 or something? And Earth X is a different
We're
Earth?
on Earth 1.
We're on Earth 1. That's boring. Rick and Morty were on Earth like 638. And then that Earth is Earth X, and there's something different about Earth X than
There's
our
a theory that Earth is Earth X. And so I'm asking you, in the Earth X in the comic books, take a guess what you think the big difference
not have
is.
thumbs? Thumbs on feet?
In the context of what we're talking about, what do you think is different about Earth X? What would make that universe different? In the context of our
everybody has a mutant ability.
No, in the context of our theory about that universe and Peacemaker, and I'm telling you, after we talked,
the South won the Civil War.
After we talked about our theory, a lot of people now think it's Earth X, and so I'm asking you, given that context, what do you think happened differently in Earth X than happened in the normal world?
I've told you a lot of good theories. The opposable
thumbs.
No,
the thumbs is not a good theory. It's not.
The South won the war.
That's close. What would be the next thing?
Kamala won.
Hitler won. The Nazis won. So that's what happened to Earth X. The Nazis won. So they got a hero on. Guess they got a hero network. Guess what the hero's called? Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam.
Hold on, you just gotta give me a second. Okay. Uncle Sam is the name of America's Hero Network?
Is a hero that came to that Earth to help free that Earth from the Nazis who won.
So in this Earth, they acknowledge that the Nazis are bad. Yes. In Earth X and Earth 1. Because as present day, people are not sure.
Well, no. In present day, people are sure. They just don't think.
No, I mean in Earth 362 that we're on right now. I
know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
People are sure. They just don't think they think Nazis are different than what Nazis are.
No, they know, and they're gaslighting us. Let's be clear about that. Like, they're so aware. I guess what I'm just curious about is like, okay, because the thing is, somebody said this earlier today. This is why I'm sticking here. They said, like, the thing is, people want to act like, oh man, we're trying to be like Nazis. But the truth is that the Nazis were modeling some stuff after American racism. And we need to remember that. Like, we keep acting like the Nazis invented racism as if we weren't literally segregated at the time they were doing that. And also, we keep acting like a lot of people did not die during the transport and maintenance of chattel slavery. So, like, just to be really clear, we think sometimes about like we act like slavery in America was like just people taking good care of Black people until they freed them. And that's not what happened. So many people died. So many people were not treated well and died from famine, from torture, from whatever, right? So I'm saying all that to say that we're not this country that's like not the Nazis the way that we act like we are. So in my mind, not only would the Nazis have won and Mussolini have won and there'd be more dictators on earth, like there'd be a whole different states, which I get. So I think that's why like it's kind of like a, as of thinking about today what we're dealing with, it's a, what's the word when like you're trying to give yourself credit and you don't deserve it? Like it's not, we're trying to make ourselves seem like the Nazis are so far apart and like, oh man, I can't believe that would happen. But like in reality, we're not that far off from that having happened in terms of how some people still believe and treat people and how some laws are reflected. We just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not that, you're telling me that and I'm realizing it's not that different where we are today because progress can be rolled back just so quickly.
So on that earth, President Roosevelt died sooner than he should, and that set the Allied war efforts back, resulting in a stalemate where both sides gained access to atomic weapons. That wound up prolonging the war by decades until finally in the late 60s when Hitler subdued the rest of the world through the power of mind control and the Nazis became the dominant power on Earth. So that's what happened in Earth X. And so then heroes from other Earths ended up coming to that through some type of crisis, right? Where they ended up on other Earths and they ended up on that one. It's like, what the fuck happened here? And so they end up trying to help the people there go through everything. So I say all that to say there are people who think that that universe is going to turn out to be Earth X. And that's why we haven't seen any non-white people. And that's why his daddy is looked at as such as a hero and all that stuff.
Yeah, I do think we were on to like the best choice writing wise here would be that what he thinks is better. It's what out of the best choice writing wise would be the advice that Adebayo gives, which is like, oh, and my speed went down so low and now I'm glitching.
No,
Can you hear me?
Fine. You're perfectly fine.
Video wise, I'm bad right now. But the best advice is Adebayo saying, bro, you're where you're meant to be. Your problems are your problems for a reason. Ride out what you got in this universe. And she said something like, all your problems are inside of you. You can't leave it. Like where you go, there you are. Very true and very real. And so Adebayo gives that wisdom that like he probably needed to hear, because ultimately that's what's going to happen this season. Like I think no matter what, there's a dark underbelly where he gets there and realizes, oh, these people aren't as great as I think they are. I was just wrapped up in this and don't realize like my values are XYZ. And like, because mind you, we haven't seen Adebayo in this universe. And so the idea is that when we see her, she's going to be the help or something, right? So like, there's all these different ways that we think about that he's going to have a realization that this universe isn't what he wants. And so then the question is going to be, does he want his American Pie girlfriend, right? Does he want to be with her more than he wants to like believe in truth and righteousness? And the truth is, I think we already know what our answer is going to be, or else this show is going to really be a freaking bummer. This show is going to really be a bummer if he chooses to stay on Earth X and white supremacists, like, what's that movie? American History X. If he wants to stay on Earth American History X instead of where we're at. So I think that's going to be what's going to happen, because that just to me makes the most sense as a strong storytelling device. And like you said, we haven't seen no white people, and yeah.
Well, that's the end of episode 4. We'll be back next week for episode 5. We also have The Boys, Gen Z, which I think comes out tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Gen Z, September 17th, tomorrow. So,
wow.
Gen Z comes out, season 2, Gen Z comes out tomorrow. So
I've been thinking about something, Brandon.
What have you been thinking about?
I've been thinking about taking notes for Peacemaker.
Okay. Then take notes for Peacemaker.
I'm saying like so that you don't have to take notes for both shows.
That's fine. You do what you want to do. I don't mind. But if you want to do it, I'm completely fine with that.
Okay. I'll let you know if I watch it more than one. I never want to watch it more than once, but I might. I'm gonna see if I can. I've hosted show episodes before, but I'm like, okay, I'm really enjoying Peacemaker. We have 2 shows. You've been doing double notes, so I'm gonna relieve you one of these weeks. I'll say that.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll be back sometime in the next few days to talk about Gen Z and Peacemaker. So thank you all for listening. Let us know if you have any theories about Gen V and what you're excited for about that show. We can't wait to talk about it. And after Peacemaker's done, Chanel, I'm thinking about going back to the old naming of our show on the podcast. YouTube will stay the same, but on the podcast,
The naming that you wanted to, you didn't like.
yeah, because it was a lot.
No, I don't care. You
But
know,
we
I
might
don't care
go
at
back.
all. I mean, I think
We're definitely going back by the time
mean,
industry comes back, because that's what got us the most listens.
we was banking. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess like I'm curious. I don't know. We have different theories on like what would help us pick up. So it would be really cool if you're listening, if you could email us, tweet us, blue sky us, add us, DM us. Anyway, get in contact with us in any
Oh.
way. You can also respond like on the Spotify app, right? What? What?
Forgot. Gen
You
V.
forgot to record?
No, we're fine. Gen
Oh.
V releases the first 3 episodes.
Multiple at one time. Yeah. We'll
start.
figure that
And
out.
then it's
We'll
week to
just do
week.
one at a time.
Then it's week to week. Well, we can't wait a
maybe
whole
we'll do
week
the
to
first
do
2.
1-to-1.
We might do the first 2 together, something like that. It depends on how the story chops up. Because I need to watch a recap. Actually, I'm not going to go back and rewatch the season. I need to watch a recap.
Thank you.
But
About time. Every time we do a show, I send Chanel a text.
Let me tell you why. Go ahead, keep going.
And
Sorry.
I say, Chanel, you don't have to watch the whole show. Because she'll be like, oh, I don't remember this. And I'll be like, okay, here's the recap. And I send her a nice, great YouTube recap. Perfect. Let her know everything she needs to know to get herself ready for the show. Oh, no. I got to go back and watch the show.
And why do I do that?
I don't know.
Because there's shows I enjoyed watching the first time and I want to rewatch them. Gen V, I'm good on the recap because like it's so dense and so like Gen V has like a dark feel, like a dark aftertaste to it. I'm okay with just pushing through. But like it's like I would rewatch The Boys, but I would rewatch all of The Boys. But like Gen V to me is like maybe it's the blood, but I'm like, ugh. So and also it's like it's still in my head. Like I remember the girl getting little. I remember the penis exploding. I remember so many things. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're going to see what happens. You can get in contact with us. What we just wanted to know is like, what about the podcast made you want to listen to it? Because my theory is that it's the shows themselves and the fact that like, I think we've heard people say, hey, nobody else is that I know wants to talk about this show. At least these people will talk about it with me. And so like when we have the big shows like a White Lotus, only some people will come along that ride with us. But in industry, it's like, bro, we need to be talking about it. And we were there. We've been watching since the beginning. So we'll see. I did want to circle back on a serious note. I mentioned something earlier and I did not have the names to memory. And so I mentioned like very briefly that there were lynchings this week, which is crazy. And so I just want to say rest in peace to Corey Zukatis and Trey Reed, who very much so did not die by no foul play because Black men do not hang themselves. They just don't. They don't do it in public. They do not do it in public. So rest in peace to them. I think like I'm all for having these very like theoretical conversations about gods and superheroes, but like what's happening in the world is really bumming me out. And so it's helpful to be able to have a space to talk through it and also to like recognize the crazy stuff that is actually happening in the world. And I'm going to send you something and you could tell me later if it's I want to make a TikTok about it, Brandon, and you'll have to tell me if you think it'll put me on a list or not. Because somebody said something, it was politics and football related, and I thought it was very funny. I'm gonna send it to you to get your feedback. Anyway, that has been the We Was Watching podcast, and I guess if we were on our other naming, we'd be the We Was Peaceful. That's what we would be. We Was Peaceful podcast. Oh, that's such a good name. And if you've been rocking with us since we were dragons, we really appreciate y'all because, you know, the show is always evolving and your feedback matters because somebody told us, hey, bitch, like do your segments more clearly. And so we made the segments and we stuck to them. And so we have enjoyed watching with you guys and growing with you guys. That's it. Show notes will tell you how to get in touch with us. This is a long episode. I don't know where I got all the yapping in me from. When we do it back to back, I talk less. But if you give me 2 days to charge up, Brandon, I have a lot more to say. So that's kind of what it was. I really enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys for being here. We Was Watching Podcast is a show for blurs and aspiring baddies who are interested in sci-fi, fantasy, drama, comedy, everything in between, and are not afraid to talk about race and politics that is underlying everything. I've been Chanel, and this other host right here has been Brandon. We hope to see you guys next week. Please comment, tell us why